Good morning, everybody. It is Friday, January the 10th, here in Tokyo, Japan. I have another update for you, the fabulous CETI community. Thank you for being part of the CETI community. Last week, I alluded to some exciting news that we would be sharing very soon. And this is some of that very exciting news. Thanks for watching. We're going to be rolling out some of this stuff that I talk about today in socials with some documentation and a chance to answer questions there. Without further ado, let's get into it. This is the moment that we've all been waiting for. This is the announcement of the 2025 CETI Rewards Program, where we complete the final stage of the flywheel, so to speak, and we start returning revenue back to the CETI token community in the form of staking rewards. And to give you the TLDR of this, in case you don't want to watch beyond the first 30 seconds of the video, you're going to stake your CETI, you're going to receive rewards generated from CETI AI revenue, plus a special one-time distribution to recognize early participants and folks that have been here with us since the beginning. And the program is starting a week from Monday on January 20th, 2025, with a special bonus to anybody who stakes during the first 3 weeks of the program. So that's the very short TLDR of what we're talking about today. And I'll spend a few more minutes getting into some of the details of how this works. And again, refer you to some of the documentation that we're going to be putting out online. And we'll be there for you to answer questions in socials as well. So first of all, this program is, as I mentioned, the final leg or closing the loop on the CETI flywheel, so to speak. And it's designed to thank you, our dedicated community, for your participation, promote engagement, and being part of what we're talking about and doing on a daily basis here as we accelerate the growth of the token and progress towards our mission of creating a decentralized AI compute infrastructure layer for the world so that AI is free and fair and accessible to everybody from developers to users, and that they have the compute that they need to power their dreams and their visions. And so we're introducing these rewards, which are drawn from hardware revenue, some liquidity adjustments, and a new revenue stream, yield-bearing assets, which I'll talk about a little bit briefly here in a moment. So we're doing this to maximize the token utility, stabilize where we are in terms of the market dynamic of the CETI token, and most importantly, directly reward you, the participants who have actively contributed to our growth. And we really want to make a point of recognizing early adopters, people who have been with us since the beginning. So we're doing what we can there to make sure that there's a special element of this as well that takes that into consideration. It's not just about the rewards, of course. It's about reinforcing the whole tokenomics behind the CETI vision, the flywheel. The flywheel is a system that ties the market demand to infrastructure expansion and community engagement into a big virtuous cycle. And this is something that we've all talked about at length and is documented in the CETI AI light paper. But the flywheel is the thing that makes this whole dream work. It's the mechanics by which we're able to continue to grow and expand and make progress towards our vision of a decentralized AI. We're going to do some reallocation of CETI token liquidity here, put some of it into special rewards for you, the stakers, some of it into yield-bearing assets. We could combine this with revenue from the CETI AI hardware infrastructure. We're going to do bi-weekly top-ups of rewards into the staking pool. And basically, we're going to empower anybody who stakes to share in the success of CETI while strengthening the foundation of this decentralized AI future that we're building together. Yeah, let's talk about a couple of things. First of all, how does it work? We are going to launch the staking program on UNCX, which is a fully decentralized multi-chain service provider that's been around for several years now. And the reason that we're doing this is because UNCX gives us a platform where we don't have to develop our own staking solution and our own front end. And for that, we can spend our engineering and development hours on building the ICF, the Intelligent Compute Fabric for CETI, and operating our supercompute infrastructure, and use an amazing third-party service provider to do the actual staking program themselves. But basically, beginning on January 20th, you'll be able to stake your tokens in a UNCX staking pool for CETI. You'll be able to subscribe to the rewards in that pool, and you're going to start earning rewards distributed on a block-by-block basis right away. And so then we're going to be topping up that rewards pool. With our rewards pool, we'll have a substantial reward in it to start with, which I'll talk about in a moment. Then we'll be topping it up on a bi-weekly basis to start with the revenue generated from the 70 revenue service sources. And I'll talk about how that works real quickly here. So why do you want to do this? First of all, before we get into the mechanics of how it all works, why stake? So this is how you earn passive revenue, or passive rewards, I should say, generated from CETI AI's operational revenue. This is the final stage of the token flywheel, whereby as a token economy participant, you are benefiting in the revenue streams earned from the operation of the whole project and infrastructure and everything that has been built on the CETI token. And you're going to get like the regular streamed staking rewards by being a staker. So this is the upside for you, the token holder. You stake and you earn CETI as a result of that. And why stake now? Like, so when this program launches, like one of the very first things we want to do is encourage people to get involved early. So like when we launch the program on January 20th, or when the rewards start on January 20th, for 3 weeks from that point, rewards are going to be boosted by a 4x multiple. For 3 weeks, we're just going to be piling in the rewards. So we really want everyone to come in and join and stake and participate in the CETI tokenomics flywheel and this vision of decentralized AI that we're building. Big boost, 4x boost to the rewards for the first few weeks of staking. And that's anybody who stakes. So you get the extra rewards, the boosted rewards for the first 3 weeks of that rewards pool. But then additionally, if you want to lock up your tokens, there will be lockup bonuses as well. You don't have to lock up. There is a minimum staking period of 2 weeks. But beyond that, if you lock up for 3 months, you're going to get a 25% bonus. 6 months, 50%, 9 months, 75%. If you lock up for a 12-month period, you're going to get a 100% bonus on the rewards that you earn from the staking pool. And this is because we want to encourage you guys to be with us for the long term and participate as much as possible in the exponential growth that we know we're going to see as a decentralized AI infrastructure player in the coming years. So stick around with us for the long haul and you get the bonus. Or if you're not comfortable with that, don't lock up your token. The choice is yours. You don't have to do that. It's just bonus if you do. And yeah, these incentive structures, like why we want to encourage people to get in there early and lock it up for a portion of time if they so choose, is just so that we can get the benefits to you as quickly as possible in the form of staking, encouraging early participation. And then also, if you're really a long-term believer and you want to be with us for the long haul, then we want to recognize you for that as well. That's why you want to stake. And I think that should be pretty clear. We've talked about that in socials for a long time now, but this is your participation in the CETI AI tokenomics flywheel. Long-awaited participation. How do we fund all of this? Of course, what's always been part of the funding since the very beginning is the net revenue earned from operating the CETI AI infrastructure we will use to purchase CETI, the token, putting a little bit of extra boost buy pressure on the token price there, and distribute that to you. But we're also adding a couple of other additional funding mechanisms to the staking program, which I think you will think are pretty cool and exciting. So first is we are going to add yield-bearing assets to CETI AI revenue streams, which means we will be holding tokens and farming sometimes tokens or staking tokens that align with our vision of decentralized AI, and then returning all the yield from those tokens to you in the form of staking rewards. So much in the same way that like we will use hardware revenue to purchase CETI, we will use staking yield from our assets that we hold that are staked in support of decentralized AI and convert those to CETI as well. So we'll use those yields to buy CETI, and that will be part of the biweekly distribution of rewards to you as well. And then finally, the third thing that we're adding as a funding mechanism for how this staking works is we are going to one time only take a bunch of CETI that has accumulated in the liquidity pool and give it back to you, the stakers. So excess liquidity sitting around in the liquidity pool is not a good thing for the token in terms of capital efficiency. It's just sitting there. It's not doing anything. So you always want your capital working for you. And of course, having a huge amount of liquidity when the market cap is not as huge as it was, it's not such a great thing as well either. We want to enhance the token responsiveness as well. We're just going to take all that CETI and give it back to you, the stakers. This is great because unlike a lot of staking programs that use inflation as a funding mechanism for staking rewards, of course, CETI is non-inflationary, fixed supply forever, 21 million tokens. So these are actually really worth something. The token doesn't come from inflation. It's not value created out of thin air that ultimately is a tax on anybody. It's actually, a portion of the CETI tokens in circulation that is going back to you, and it's going to be quite a substantial amount of it. So that's pretty cool. The other portion, the other side of that liquidity is what we're going to use for the yield-bearing assets, as that is mostly wrapped TAO at the moment. TAL is a yield-bearing asset in support of decentralized AI. And there are a number of other yield-bearing assets that we think are important assets that further our vision for what we're trying to build here as well. So we're not doing anything with that except putting it to work. So that is not sitting there idle as inefficient capital unnecessarily deployed in a liquidity pool for us, but it is a really effective use of capital deployed in a liquidity pool or other staking solution for a vision aligned token, so to speak, and making money. And so that yield, the money that makes staked or farmed, goes back to you as well, the stakers, 100% of that. Those are two new funding mechanisms that we're integrating into this. It's going to support the CETI flywheel, which was originally and since beginning has included the hardware revenue from CETI, but now also includes ongoing revenue from staking yield-bearing assets in support of decentralized AI. And I know you guys are probably really excited about a lot of cool stuff coming up in AI as well. In 2025, this is the year of agentification in AI. There's already so much stuff, cool stuff going in there right now. Rest assured, you as a steady token staker, you'll be supporting that as well as we direct yield-bearing assets to aligned programs and return the yield to you as well, alongside the hardware revenue. We're going to supplement the token flywheel, then the distribution of the token rewards. How does this work? So that one-time withdrawal of all of the CETI, not all of it, but a big portion of the CETI from the liquidity pool immediately goes into the staking rewards starting on January 20th. And so you'll be able to grab like a big chunk of that if you're staking for the first few weeks, or if you lock up your token, or which you'll be able to grab some of it, even if you don't do any of those things. But that's going to be distributed staking reward over the course of a year. And then following that, every couple of weeks, we'll be topping up the rewards pool with the revenue earned from hardware or yield-bearing assets. This all is awarded on a block-by-block basis. This distribution system is pretty typical. Like for staking programs, it's all part of the UNCX decentralized application that we're going to be using for staking. And you'll be able to stake, unstake, claim your rewards. This is very important. No token tax, no additional taxes or fees or anything. It's all been whitelisted. You can stake, unstake, claim rewards. Any interaction with the staking whatsoever is no token tax associated with it. That's good. That keeps it accessible, fair, clear on how it's all paid for to everybody. And of course, I just will reiterate that like all the rewards are always distributed in CETI, right? That should go without saying, but just so you understand how that works is that the rewards, the CETI, is purchased from the open market, right? So you want us like using the rewards to buy CETI and then give it to you, because then you have the benefit of the increase in buy pressure, plus you receive the CETI, the resulting CETI as a reward to you. The final thing I want to talk about is that the whole point of this program, yes, it supports the tokenomics flywheel, but it's really been built around community feedback. How can we align this with community participation and make sure that we're all working together to drive CETI's success, and so that we can all benefit from the success in a mutual way that like it makes sense for everybody. Of course, once again, I will reiterate that it is impossible. We wouldn't even be here without the community. The CETI program doesn't work without a community. The whole tokenomics flywheel just sits there idle without a community. Nobody knows about CETI without a community. It's because of you and your participation that we have made it this far. We've accomplished so much so far, and it is through your active participation as a community that we're going to take things to the next level in terms of CETI AI's progress towards our vision and growth of the whole token ecosystem and everything. So please benefit along the way with consistent rewards to you, the community participant and staker, funded by these yield-bearing assets that we're deploying, the CETI AI hardware revenue from the infrastructure, and of course, this one-time distribution of excess liquidity in the form of CETI token that we have. A lot of people, I'll just say as a side, like if you've been with us since the beginning, you watch a chart like not paint in the right direction this whole time. All that CETI's been accumulating in a liquidity pool. And in recognition of the fact that you're there from the beginning, and you watch the chart and not go in the direction you wouldn't necessarily thought it would for the first 8 months of the program or whatever. Thank you for being with us since the beginning. Thank you for your faith and belief in us and the project and your fellow community members since the beginning. All that CETI that accumulated as a result of that chart going that way. We want to give that back to you as well. Anyway, this update went a little bit longer than I expected, but to close, Really hope you're excited by this. Really want to invite you to join the CETI Staking Program, which will be launching on UNCX on January 20th. Of course, you have the link to that in socials. It's uncx.network. You can find the CETI staking pool if you want on your own, but we'll provide the direct link to everything and some more details about specifically how to do it, just so you're 100% clear on how to stake. Answer any of your questions in advance. Want you to be ready. It's coming 10 days from now. So you have plenty of time to prepare so that if you want, can stake on day one, maximize your rewards by getting that extra bonus. You can lock it up from day one, double maximize your rewards by locking it up if you so choose. And yeah, come join us in staking your CETI, participating in the tokenomics flywheel, and working together with the rest of the community and CETI AI team to build this vision of infrastructure for the future of decentralized AI. Anyway, I love you guys and appreciate you. Thank you very much.